Hello students, after the advantages and applications of squirrel cage induction rotor, we will be studying about the wound rotor. Here is the phase wound or sleep ring rotor. It is also called as sleep ring rotor. It consists of a laminated core having semi-closed slots at the outer periphery, and it carries a three-phase insulated winding. What do you mean by semi-closed? In case of your cage rotor, all the terminals are short-circuited or closed by using end rings, but here the terminals are not closed, they are rather connected to slip rings. Okay. The rotor is wound for the same number of poles as that of the stator. Number of poles is equal to the number of stator. The three finished terminals are connected together, which forms star point, and three star terminals are connected to three slip rings fixed on the shaft. Let me tell you, these three terminals are connected to the three slip rings fixed on the shaft with the help of brushes. Come to advantages of slip ring induction motor. It has high starting torque and low starting current. Number 2 is possibility of adding additional resistance to control the speed. We have studied in case of your cage rotor, there was no possibility of addition of resistances, but in case of your wound rotor, there is a possibility of adding resistances so that we can control the speed of the machine. Next, application of slip ring induction motor. Slip ring induction motor are used where high starting torque is required, that is in cranes, elevators, hoists, etc. Now, here is the difference between slip ring and squirrel cage induction motor. This part is about slip ring or phase wound rotor. This is about the squirrel cage induction motor. The first difference is like, in case of your slip ring rotor, construction is very much complicated due to the presence of slip rings and brushes. In case of your squirrel cage, the construction is very simple. Next difference. For slip ring, the rotor winding is similar to the stator winding. In case of your squirrel cage, the rotor consists of rotor bars which are permanently shorted with the help of end rings. The third difference is like, for slip ring, we can easily add rotor resistance by using slip rings and brushes. But in case of your squirrel cage, since the rotor bars are permanently shorted, it's not possible to add any external resistance. Number 4 difference. Due to presence of external resistance, high starting torque can be obtained. As there is possibility of external resistance, so your resistance becomes higher. As a result, the starting torque, high starting torque can be obtained. But in case of a squirrel cage, the starting torque is low and cannot be improved, cannot be increased. Next difference. In case of your slip ring rotors, the slip ring and brushes are present, but in case of squirrel cage, the slip rings and brushes are not present. Next difference. For slip ring induction motors, frequent maintenance is required due to the presence of brushes. As we are using brushes, it will require maintenance frequently. So we can say frequent maintenance is required in case of your slip ring induction motor. But in case of your cage rotor, less maintenance is required as there are no brushes, no slip rings present in the rotor. The last difference is like in case of your slip ring rotor, this motor rarely used. We can say only 10% of industry uses this slip ring induction motor. Now coming to the squirrel cage induction motor, due to its simple construction and low cost, the squirrel cage induction motor is widely used. Always remember, the cost of the slip ring induction motor is higher. The cost of the squirrel cage induction motor is lower than the slip ring induction motor. So, due to its low cost, the squirrel cage induction motor is widely used. So, this is all about the difference between slip ring and squirrel cage induction motor, which is very, very important. Thank you all.